Hello everyone and welcome. I thought I would just take a minute to share with you today something that has come up a lot for me in the last few weeks. A lot of the people that I have been working with as an instructor, a trainer, a mentor have said to me that I just don't feel confident. I just don't feel confident in my teaching. I just don't feel confident in the English level. I just don't feel confident in whatever it is that they have to do. And it had me thinking a lot about something I learned in Break Method, and it's how you can cultivate confidence. You learn that confidence is not something you have or you don't have. It's something that you can create through practice. So in the Break Method practice, they use the example of going skydiving, but I think using the example of going scuba diving is it fits a bit more in my own personal experience. Because scuba diving happens to be my biggest fear. It is the thing that I am most afraid of, but I've done it like 10 times. So it works really good as an example. So in order to create confidence, you first have to be committed to doing whatever it is you need to do. So in the case of scuba diving, you have to be committed to getting on the boat, putting on the wetsuit, putting on your weight belt, your BCD, checking all your regulators, you got the mask, okay? Now you got the fins, you walk to the end of the boat, you hold your waist belt, you hold on to your mask, and you jump in. Now you're in the water, you're committed, you're going to go scuba diving. You've committed 100%. You got all the gear, you're in the water, here we go. Now you need to have courage, because if you're like me, it's scary. Going down this descent, the first descent, freaks me out so much. I have so many problems with my ears. My mask is too tight. My breathing, I can't regulate my breathing. I don't have enough air. Panic, okay? Panic is not the time or place to panic when you're in the water. You have to muster up the courage to let the air out of your BCD. Yes, you're going to go down. Yes, the pressure is going to start. Keep breathing. Equalize, breathe, equalize, breathe. Look at the fish, okay? Equalize. It's okay. You have to have courage. And you don't just have to have courage in that first part. You have to maintain that courage for 30, 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour, while you are down there on your dive. Different things can happen. You might start to get all in your head about your air. You might start to get all in your head about something like, well, what if there's a shark? What if I get lost? What if whatever, right? And you can't let yourself get into this panic mode. You have to maintain your courage, your bravery. You have to keep all this negative thoughts out of your head and go through and follow through with what you're doing. So in skydiving, you have to be brave. You have to have the courage to pull the parachute, right? But that takes 1 second. Maintaining this courage for maybe an hour can be difficult. And then you come up, you're on the surface, like, wow, I did it. I went down. I saw the fish, maybe I saw some sea turtles, maybe I pretended to see whatever those little tiny things the dive master was trying to show me, but I couldn't see, so I just nodded my head, yeah, okay, right? I did it. I can feel confident in my skills. Your buoyancy maybe is improving, your breathing and regulating the air consumption is improving. You doing this builds confidence, okay? And then we move into capability. Wow, I've done it. I know that I'm capable of doing it again. So I get back on the boat with this knowledge that I'm capable of doing it again, okay? And in an hour, you go to another dive site and you get to do it again, right? You get to go through the whole process again. 100% commitment. You put on all the gear, you jump in the water, okay? And you go through the process again. You are brave when you go down, you find the courage, you maintain your calm, and your bravery while you're down there under the sea looking at all of the pretty things. You come up, you're like, yes, that is the moment when you feel confident. That's the moment of confidence. When you come up to the surface and you're like, yes, I did it. I did it. And maybe you've improved. Maybe your buoyancy improved. Maybe your air regulation or air consumption has improved, okay? Maybe you saw something you haven't seen before, okay? And you get back on the boat with this capability. I'm capable of doing it again. And maybe you're lucky, you're gonna go have a third dive and you get to repeat the process again. So each time you go do something new, you have to be committed to doing it, and you have to be brave enough to face all of your fears, to not view your obstacles as failures, okay? I could tell a different story, right? So my biggest fear in scuba diving is that something's gonna happen with my mask. I'm gonna have to take my mask off underwater, right? And in fact, it did happen. It happened on the first dive back after 4 years with no diving. I did one training course, and then we had COVID. I didn't dive, and then we went just this past Christmas. And on the first dive, the dive instructor said, no, your mask is leaking. I got this little one. You should change it. And it was the worst fear in my whole life taking place in that very moment. And so I had to follow the steps. I said, okay, I am committed to doing this. I am committed to sitting here on this little sandy spot, probably like 3 to 5 meters under the water. Not even deep, okay? But I was committed to doing it. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it in steps. And so I did it in steps, to let in a little water, then to finally take off the mask fully, to put the second one on, to clear all the water. And that's it. That's all I could do. Was I had to commit to doing it. I had to be brave, find the courage to follow through. And then after that, I was like, whoa, let's do that again, right? Because then I had the confidence to know that I am capable of doing it. Confidence is just a moment. It's just a moment where you feel confident because you're able to do something. So whatever it is that you're struggling with, that you feel like you're not confident in your skills, in your abilities to do something, I urge you to commit 100% to that. Whether it's scuba diving, whether it's teaching something in a foreign language, whether it's trying a new skill, whatever it may be, you have to be 100% committed and not view your obstacles as failures. Then you will build confidence. You will learn that you are capable of doing hard things. So yes, this is an important reminder also to myself to be brave, to be committed, because that's how confidence is built. It's not just something that appears. And yes, in fact, now that I've done probably, like I said, about 10 dives, my worst fear of having to change my mask underwater has come true. I've learned that even if the water is like 30 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius, I still need to have a long wetsuit because I just get cold real quick. So those are little things that you learn in the process, and you just have to keep trying. Now I love it, but I still think I have to go through all of those steps in my mind each time I get in the water, but it's getting better. It's getting better. So thank you so much for watching. I would like to say a special shout out to a whole 8 subscribers that I have now. I swear, if I get 10 subscribers, I will be over the moon. It will just be fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helps you to kind of build some confidence in your own life. Don't be afraid. Commit to doing it, whatever it is that needs to be done. Be brave about it, and that's how you build confidence. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and until next time, bye.